Today I'm gonna be talking about Depo. That nonsense. Okay, so let me just start from the beginning. So Depo is a method. Depo Provera is a injection method of birth control. It is basically where you get shot up in the ass once every 3 months with some stuff that really just, it does its job, but the side effects are pretty dang on not worth the 3 months of protection that it gives you for pregnancy. So yeah, it's just a little injection. You get it in a little while. Pick it up from the pharmacy. You go to the doctor or the nurse or whoever is shooting up people in the ass that day, and they just right in the butt cheek. Alternating left, right, left, right, left, right, and then you are covered for 3 months. So I started taking Depo because the condom broke. Like that's just what happened, you guys. The condom broke, and I was just like, oh, holy crap! Oh, someone's calling. Hang on. So because the condom broke, I decided to be responsible and to go about getting a method of birth control that would be low maintenance, low key, that would keep me covered. And I did my research, and I thought the Depo would be the best option. Now, when I say I did my research on based on how often I would have to go to the doctor, based on how long the birth control would last, and based on how expensive it would be. So I looked for those three things. I didn't look at the side effects. I didn't look at possible outcomes. That I didn't look at things that could go wrong. I didn't look at any of that stuff. I was just like, what's going to be the best shit for the least amount of money that will keep me, covered. And I was like, oh, Depo, that shit works, okay. And at the time, I was really busy. I was working 2 jobs. I was working like pushing maybe 50, 60 hours a week. I didn't have a car, so I was taking the bus all the time. And I was just like all over the place. So I really just needed something where like I could just take my birth control, not have to worry about it. I didn't want to take a pill. My life was too crazy for all that nonsense. I didn't have time to be worrying about making sure I take it at between if I'm supposed to take it at 8 o'clock every night. I didn't have time to worry about taking it between 7 and 9. I just didn't have time for that. So that's why I chose to do Depo. And my doctor was like, okay, well, my gynecologist was like, okay, well, we can hook you up with this, blah 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 blah. This is what you want. And I was like, yes, please. I was freshly turned 18 when I got this, so I was like fresh, 18, condom broke, and I was like, okay, let me do this, and so started doing it. First injection, I'm 170 pounds, and I'm okay. Like, I'm 170 pounds, I'm healthy, I'm totally fine, I'm good, I don't have any other kind of medical problems besides astigmatism, which I don't even know if that counts as a medical problem, but like, everything is going fine. Normally, I had a weird cycle anyway. I would usually have my cycle like maybe 3 or 4 times a year anyway. That's just how I roll. That's just how I'm about to decide to roll. I didn't start my period until I was 13, and I stand at 5'8", and so 170 pounds for me was okay because it was all on my buttons, thighs, and hips anyway. So like I was I'm a broad-shouldered, tall Amazonian kind of woman. So like my doctor was just like, I guess it's just how you roll, since if you're having it only a couple of times, like once every 3 months, that's just how your period wants to be. That's how it's going to be, because that had been happening between the ages of like 13 and 17. So some people just operate differently. So when I started taking the Depo, first injection around, I was spotting constantly, just constantly spotting, and it would go for 2 months and then stop, and then as soon as I got another injection, it would just come back. Like the doctor was like, oh, it takes a little bit of time to balance it out. Maybe by the second or third shot, you'll be totally fine. You won't even be having a period anymore. So I was like, oh, that sounds wonderful. Not like I was even having them anyway, so like it didn't even bother me. But the spotting was fucking annoying as shit, man. It was so bothersome because it was like spilling a tad bit of coffee. Like, it wasn't enough that I needed to buy tampons all the time, but it was enough that I needed to wear a panty liner. But it was like I could wear the panty liner for the whole day and it would cover the spillage. But like, that's kind of nasty just to wear one panty liner when you're like having your bodily fluids and shit leaking out of you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell's going on with that? Like, it was annoying. And then the weight gain started with that. Like, I'm spotting out of my ass. Like, I can't even enjoy getting intimate with my husband because it's like, oh, I'm just like, bleeding and shit just, all the time, constantly. And then, I started gaining weight, and it was like one of those things where it's like I wanted to eat more. I couldn't not eat like brownies. Oh my god, brownies just look so good. Oh my god, sandwiches with extra cheese and extra mayonnaise look so good. Like I was eating deep fried. Hold on, guys. Just listen to this crazy, okay? I will be eating deep fried chicken, like twice deep fried. I would deep fry it and then deep fry it again for that extra crispiness, and then dip this shit in mayonnaise and like eat it. Like, can you like that's not normal. Like normal people don't do that. Okay, like that's just not okay. I'll deep fry almost anything and just like dip that shit in mayonnaise. And like I didn't start doing that as often as I usually would until I started taking the Depo. So it was just like wow. So so then the weight gain started. I went from a size 9 to a size 16. Right now, a year and a half ago, I was a size 9 and loving it and very happy, and now I am a size 16, and my ass is huge, my thighs are huge, my hips are out of this world. I look like my tits have, I have gone from like an A cup to a C cup. Like, my breasts have gotten large. I'm finding new stretch marks every day. Like, this stuff is just like absolutely ridiculous. And my health is deteriorating on a level that like I never even knew was possible. Like I've been looking up some videos and stuff, and like I've seen that some people having been on Depo, they're like, oh yeah, like my fingers and feet are going numb and shit. Like I haven't had that happen. I have not had that happen, but like I work in a clothing store, and like I'll have to be running around sometimes, or I'll have to stand up for long periods of time, and it's just like from my pelvis to my toes, it just fucking hurt just like hell after 2 hours. And like I used to be able to walk like 6 miles and not even break a sweat. Like that just used to be my lifestyle. But in combination with the extra weight, and then in combination with the, like my bones feel weaker, like my body doesn't feel as strong as it used to. I I almost I felt like I was about to break my elbows doing a pull up the other day. Like I just could not do it. And I'm only 19, you guys. Like that's just not normal. Like I'm only 19. I can't even do a doggone pull up. Like that's just like that's not okay. And I just feel it, and it just finally kicks in my head. I was like, oh, this is doggone birth control doing all this nonsense to me. So I am due for another injection. The next injection I will get will make it about a year and 9 months. Around that time, like about a year and 8 months, 9 months. So I'm gonna stop, and I'm going to try to go on something else, because I know that if I stop, like if I just like stop and go cold turkey with birth control, it's gonna really affect my body, and it's gonna, I don't know, make things go crazy out the wazooza. I know that like right now everything is off balance, so it needs to be put back on balance. Maybe I'll go with patch, maybe I'll go with maneuvering or something. Like I can't even think about pills. Like I just things have calmed down, but it's still at a point where I feel like I'd be very, very inconsistent with that, and I don't want to put myself in that situation. So, but Depo is definitely out of the picture. I mean, like, holy shit, you guys. Like, this thing has really affected my body. I've gained extra weight. My bones have gotten seriously weaker. I've never broken a bone in my whole entire life. Never broken a bone. Never had any problem. I was the kid. I always drank my milk. I always ate my chicken. I got my protein. Like, I love beans. I love plain yogurt. I will get it all, but like I gained a serious amount of weight. I've never had cravings for ice cream and brownies and sweetened yogurts, and like I fucking made a sandwich out of icing the other day. Like this is crazy. Like this is just not my personality. Like usually when I want something sweet, I'll be like, ooh, let me go to the store and get a melon, or ooh, let me go get some strawberries. Like that's how it was 2 years ago. Now it's just like, god damn it, they don't have any Betty Crocker frosting on sale. Like this is just ridiculous, and I really just believe it's all due to the Depo. So I'm just gonna get off this crap as soon as possible. Weight gain. I wouldn't say emotional instability or anything like that. Um, I try to stay level-headed in my life, as much as possible. I don't like drama. I don't like any extra issues or anything like that. So I wouldn't say that is a contributing factor. You know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't say that anything crazy emotional, happened to me. But definitely weaker bones. Definitely like feeling lethargic. Definitely difficulty getting out of bed. A lot. Like I get tired so much more easily, and my sex drive is down like crazy. Like I mean, I could go at it like a rabbit. I mean, like do me 2 times a day and I'm good. But like now it's just like Like, get away from me. Like, I don't even want to see a penis. I don't want to know what it looks like. I don't want to know what it smells like. Nothing. Like, get away from me with that nonsense. And I feel like that's part of the extra weight gain is making me not feel sexy and then making me not want to have sex, which is just, I mean, absurd. That's absurd. I'm gorgeous. I should be getting screwed daily. But yeah, it's just like I think it's all for that. So I'm going to stop taking it, and I'm going to see what you know other options there are out there. But as far as Depo is concerned, this is my experience. Every person is different. So I would seriously recommend not going for that. And if you really do need something that you just don't need to worry about, talk to your doctor and see your best options. But do not go for Depo because I mean, you're stuck with it for 3 months. Like, no matter what happens, you're stuck with it for 3 months. So, like, just think of it like that. You're going to be stuck with the side effects for, like, a month when you're done anyway. So, like, just think of it as being, like, for half the year. Whatever it does to you, you're just going to have to deal with it. So that's my info, you guys. Thanks for watching!